Welcome back to channel Glopen. Today we are here at Longhua Temple in Shanghai, probably one of the most famous and iconic temples here in the city center. And behind me you can see the main entrance, the main gate of the complex and the iconic pagoda of Longhua Temple. And there are a lot of people here walking around in circle around the pagoda, and they're basically praying for good fortune, for finding like a good partner for their life, for their studies, for their job, for everything related to daily life situations. And now let's join them. You should know that the Longhua Temple was first built in the 3rd century, and basically what we are seeing now has been almost completely rebuilt during the centuries, because during the Chinese history there were a lot of wars that destroyed the whole complex, but some parts of the temple are still the same from almost 1,000 years ago. For example, this part where we can see the pagoda and some other parts inside the complex. And now let's discover all the secrets of this place. Now let's pick up some free sticks here before going in. These are all the free sticks that people can pick up. And here you can see the amazing main entrance of the temple. And one interesting fact about the main gate here is that the characters that you can see there are written in traditional Chinese, which is not the simplified Chinese that common people speak right now in China. And you read these characters from the right to the left, which is the opposite of the simplified Chinese. Do you hear the music here inside the temple? This is not Mandarin Chinese. Actually, I asked some Chinese guys if they could understand what the music was saying, and they cannot understand. So this is like kind of dialect or ancient language that only like monks can really understand. And here you can see all the people praying towards the main hall there, where there's the god inside and all the statues. And now let's pray with them all together, and I wish I can reach all my goals and my objectives, so let's try together. And now we put all the sticks inside that place where they collect all the sticks that people use to pray. There are a lot of cats inside the temple here, and usually monks take care of them. And I love cats, so this is like a dream for me. Here behind me you can see a ritual vessel made of bronze where Chinese people basically threw some coins inside to receive good wealth and fortune. And we have something similar in Italy as well, in Europe, specifically in Rome, with the La Fontana di Trevi, which is like a public pool in the city center of Rome, where people basically throw coins inside and hope to receive some fortune and wealth, yeah, for their family and for themselves. And now, let's try. I hope I can actually put it inside. Let's see. I did it. Here you can buy some belts that you can then attach them on this tree. And basically these belts are meant to bring you fortune and good wealth. And there are basically 5 different types, where the first one is for your fortune, the second one for your wealth, the third one for your career path, for your studies. There are several types of belts, and now we're gonna buy one of them and attach them to this tree here over there. So now I'm gonna write down my name here and the name of a family member, because I want to wish her good health. As you can see it here, Shanti Jiankan, so good health for your body. Inside Longhua Temple there are several halls, and all of them are important for Chinese people coming here to pray, but today we just focus on the most important one, on the main hall, which is the Great Buddha's Hall. And as you can see here, there are hundreds of people coming from not just Shanghai, but also other cities to pray here and to ask for good fortune and wealth, health. And yeah, that's a very interesting and amazing scene of traditional culture, traditional Chinese culture.
In the air of the Great Buddha Hall, the fragrance of sandalwood lingers, and from a distance, the faint sound of chanting and the rhythmic beat can be heard, instantly calming the mind. Standing before the solemn Buddha statue, I suddenly realized that what lies before me is not merely architecture and sculpture, but a spiritual legacy that spans over 1,000 years. Ancient craftsmen infused their faith into every chisel mark and every brush stroke, creating the majestic yet delicate artistic sanctuary that stands here today.
The smell here is incredible. It's like a mix of flowers, incense. I love it. And after visiting the Longhua Temple, one of the must-do things to do here is to try the viral vegan noodles here at the restaurant of the temple, which is these noodles are very famous because it is usually the meal that monks eat every day, because they have a vegetarian diet. So we're gonna try these vegan noodles as well. And as you can see, there's a long queue here. They're all lining up to eat the vegan noodles. There are literally hundreds of people waiting for eat these famous noodles, so I can't wait to eat them as well. Let's see, I'm very curious. So these are basically noodles with tofu, mushrooms, and other vegetables. So let's have a try. Ooh. Let's first try the mushroom. And the tofu. Super tasty. I saw they won a lot of awards for these noodles, so my expectations are very high. But I can confirm they're good. And the portion is big too, so 100% approved. So we had the famous vegetarian noodles here at the Longhua Temple. They were amazing, I really like them. And an interesting fact that you should know about this restaurant is that nobody forces you to pay for the noodles. They cost 15 yuan, but if you are homeless, if you are poor, if you cannot afford to pay for the noodles, you can decide to not pay. And even if you are like a common person, you can choose whether or not to pay for the noodles. It's up to your consciousness. So I think this is quite important also to understand the Chinese culture and traditions. So we have just finished the visit here at the Longhua Temple. We saw the Great Buddha's Hall, the pagoda. We learned about the history of the temple, and we also had lunch inside the restaurant. We had the famous vegetarian noodles. But the visit actually is not finished because there's a last secret spot that most of the people don't know about. They actually skip this scenic spot because it's not that famous, but I'm sure you will like it. So now we're going down under the pagoda, almost under the pagoda, to see this scenic spot where you can take some amazing pictures. And I'm really excited because I saw on the internet that this place is amazing for pictures, so let's see. So here there's not just the famous spot for pictures, but there's also like a collection, yeah, kind of museum with some sculptures, statues, and other objects that better describe and explain the history of the temple and of Buddhism. So it's very interesting.
Longhua Temple feels more like a peaceful sanctuary, far from the hustle and the bustle, than just a Buddhist temple. The scent of sandalwood and the serene cats make you naturally slow your pace, allowing your heart to settle. Every stone slab, every pavilion here carries the marks of history, and it almost feels like you can hear the ancient scriptures gently drifting in the wind. Whether you are a devout believer or a visitor seeking tranquility, coming to Longhua Temple, you will feel a profound power. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.